This podcast is the result of my passion for languages and for talking to people. I have conversations with language professionals who are willing to share their experience. We focus on their work, but also on how their love for languages has shaped their personal lives. I started my career as a researcher in terminology, but I found my passion for working directly with clients when I lived in the United States and started working as a language consultant for global companies like Sony, Apple, and Google. When I came back to Europe, I was introduced to the world of LSPs, where I had multiple roles: project manager, vendor manager, and terminologist. Now that I am fully dedicated to my own projects, I provide language services in English and Portuguese, mentoring and consulting for the localization industry, and of course, I'm also a podcaster. Find out more on LinkedIn or Instagram and get in touch if you'd like to explore how I can help you with your projects. I am Rita Prazeres Gonçalves, the language worker.
Let's go.
Yep. So, hi, everybody. This is the morning today. So, it's good morning. And I have two guests today. You see, I'm now in the trend of having more than one guest whenever possible. And I think this was a really great idea because Virgínia has been in the industry, let's say, for quite a long time, right? And she's Portuguese. So we've recently connected over LinkedIn, and we have been talking, exchanging messages and ideas and things like that. And Sofia, so we're introducing Sofia to the world because Sofia, I'd say that Sofia, from what you told me, is some sort of your protege, right? I love this word. Sorry, I have to use it. So Sofia is a bit more new to the industry, and I would say that it would be a blast to work with Virgínia, who has been in the industry for quite a while.
Call me Maria. I prefer Maria.
I'm sorry. Let's go with Maria. I'm sorry.
Virgínia is the brand because it's a very strong name, but it's easier for everyone to call me Maria. And
okay, I didn't know that.
I recognize myself as Maria, please.
Very good. So let's forget about Virgínia. She's in the marketing department. We're now with Maria. So yes. So I was going to say that it's a really interesting relationship from what I could understand, because they have some sort of a mentorship relationship, right? So let's start with that. Virgínia, Maria, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then let's talk about your relationship with Sofia and why she's here with us.
Yeah, about myself, you said I'm for a long time in the industry, and I am for a long time translating because my graduation was precisely in modern language and literature, and I chose this course because of my passion for writing since I was a child. But I spent more than 20 years in the world of business, always translating and writing, but my main activity wasn't translation. Yes, it's like a secondary thing in my job. And I guess now I see it wasn't even very, people didn't pay attention to that skill. It was kind of normal. She has a way with language, so she will do it. And I was in international business management, so I had to translate, to do interpreting, to write technical writing, and so on. So I'm as freelancer working exclusively in this area. I'm just for 3 years now working here in this area. So this is it.
So how did you meet Sofia? I mean, we'll talk about more about the transition and all of those things. How did you meet Sofia so that we can introduce
Sofia
her?
Because I guess due to this kind of lack of knowledge of the industry, I started to work in translation in the opposite way of everyone does. I didn't even know, I wasn't aware of the existence of agencies. When I decided to start working on this, I just started my business normally, as I knew how a business work. I did a project, a business plan. I built a website, and I promote my service near my network all over Europe from my previous career. So I work mainly with direct clients.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I work is I help them, as I'm not an LSP, I just work in 3 languages, English, French, and Spanish. Sometimes I need to help my clients to find other translators.
Mm-hmm.
And here comes Sofia. This time I have a long time client from my previous life.
Mm-hmm.
And now they are also friends, I can say this. My clients, they all have this profile. They are kind of friends.
Mm-hmm.
We know each other for a long time. So for me, it is very easy to invite other people to projects, because my clients trust me to choose the right person to do something. And recently I needed someone to help me with a subtitling project for a Portuguese manufacturing company. And I did my research. I have a bunch of people I observe, and I think one day they may be useful. And Sofia was one of, yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
For the situation, not for me, but
Of course, I know.
to help my clients.
Mm-hmm.
And I chose Sofia. I asked her if she wanted to come to this, and yes, it was a small thing. I love it. It could be bigger, but it is a start.
Mm-hmm.
And we work in a video. She did her part, and I did mine, and the client is happy.
Mm-hmm.
And
so you now have a relationship, right? Like a working relationship where you kind of
no, because I can't. I just receive the projects, and I see what client needs. And if the client needs a language I don't work with, I have to look for. And because a while ago, some time ago, I asked you for someone, Rita. Yeah. And sometimes I need to find people for my clients, and that's what I do. But I don't intend to be an agency or something like that. I just want to be a freelancer.
So she found our Sofia. And let's hear from Sofia. So Sofia is here. She's new to the industry, and she started working how many years ago, or is it very recent?
Months ago.
Months ago. Okay, so let's hear about this college career situation before we get into the working career, because it's still very relevant, right?
Yeah.
In the situation. So who is Sofia in front of us?
Okay, so I just graduated recently in August in Ireland, because when I was 18, I decided to move to Ireland. So I lived in there for like 7 years, more or less. So just working at the beginning to just learn English. And then I finally realized what it was that I wanted to do. So I went to college finally, and I studied languages, obviously, Spanish and German, but obviously all through English. So I learned English as well. And then finished my college in August. I moved to Germany. So I'm currently living in Berlin. So and then obviously back in March, I started to work for an American firm as an audiovisual translator. But then I realized that although I was just very new already, still new to the industry, I wanted a lot more freedom, because during college I had a lot of experience working in McDonald's, so I never had any freedom. So I decided that once I was done college, I wasn't gonna, let's say, depend on anyone. So that's when I decided to become a freelance translator. But obviously, again, I'm still very new to the industry, but so that's me.
Yeah, I can hear this but in the Irish style, because I'm very familiar with the Irish variety of English.
Yeah, as I said, I lived there for years, and my husband is Irish as well, so there's a lot of Irish English being spoken.
Yeah, I can hear it every now and then. So yeah, my ear is like sensitive to that. So then you said you started working for this American company. How did this come into your life? Did you just see an ad? Were you recommended by friends? So how did this happen?
I just basically back in March, because I knew I was already gonna move to Germany, and my husband was already based in here. So I started to just browse a few jobs to just see if I could find something or not, and apply for a few of them. And then just this company gave me an interview, and obviously I had zero experience in the industry, so I was like, I'm obviously gonna take it. Did the interview, and they liked me, so I just went for it.
So they would send you, just audiovisual content or lots of
It
different
was
things?
basically translation of dubbing scripts. So then adapting it for lip sync and dubbing. So which was actually very hard to
Wow.
just start straight from that one. Yeah. Because
That is very special to be like a first project, I would say.
Yeah,
right?
It took me a while to get used to it, but they were like very helpful to train me and explain me how to do things.
Wow.
So it was just very good, like especially because I was still in college as well. So it was, and was working with German as well. So it was helping me with my German exams as well. So it was
you were studying in college, you were studying languages, but for more perspective. Okay, so I know that in Italy they have this what is it called? Everybody has the same, well, a lot of people that I know have the same degree, that it's like that. Is it multicultural, intercultural, or one of those big words? Well, you didn't study there, right? But anyway, no, so what was the official name of the degree? Because that is relevant for me.
Yeah, so the official name is Global Languages.
Global.
Yeah, so it's not very far.
Oh, the Irish.
You are near.
Okay. But then was there a specific focus? Was there a specialization in a specific field? What I mean is in Portugal, and Maria knows, what we had in our time at least was that we would do the whole 4 years or whatever, or 5 was all the same. And then some people specialized as translators, some people specialized as teachers. So there was a branch that you could choose from, and then just if you were more inclined towards one or the other. How did that work for you? Was there anything related to translation at all, or?
Yeah, it was exactly the same as you said. Like you could choose like 3 languages and then focus more on the teaching part of it, or 2 languages, and then your third main module would be called global languages, and that would include audiovisual translation and translation. So that's obviously the one I chose. But yeah, the general title is still global languages, but then within it you choose that, and then within the 2 languages you're studying, you need to do cultural modules as well and literature modules as well in the language that you're studying, on top of doing the translation part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, from that point of view, I guess it's pretty standard, right?
Yeah.
So
I suppose.
you worked, and then you finished college. And what did you think immediately? Were you still working with this particular company? Did you look for more companies? What was the process?
Yeah, I was still working for that company, and it actually, for the first couple of months, because they were very slow months in the company, so I moved to Berlin. I would just, let's say, enjoying the life after college while having a bit of work, but still just enjoying my life. And then that's when I decided that I wanted to be a freelance translator, but like I was never taught in college how to do that. I didn't even know that was an actual thing, unfortunately. So I spent like a good few weeks and months, I would say, I still am spending time just trying to learn how to do this.
Because it's obviously forever, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't get discouraged, because it's going to last forever. This and everything else.
Yeah. So just, it's actually figuring out which directions to go. And that's, again, where Maria was very helpful again.
So do you see yourself keep on going with the audiovisual type of work, or are you thinking about branching out and also doing other things?
Oh, I would definitely also like to translate documents related to some travel or tourism or something like that, because I love traveling. So that would be very interesting. But definitely the audiovisual part of it is definitely my main thing, because I love subtitles. So, and working on them. So I would say that would definitely be my main area for sure. Yeah.
I am very unpopular in the area, because I like what I think people don't like it because they don't like watching it, but I do. I love reality shows. Because a lot of them are in Los Angeles, and it's like the American thing and the slang and all of that. And that is really one of my greatest passions. So that's the kind of thing I like doing, even if I do loads around the subtitling thing, but definitely like that one. So Maria, you have been in business forever, but not in this business, right? Necessarily as such. So you were saying that you have actually been in the industry, as we call it, like people who work, in this capacity that we do now. So you have been only for 3 years, but how did this happen? So you were in your business life, and all of a sudden, what happened that brought you over to the dark side?
It happened, something that happened to the old world.
The pandemics.
Yeah, I'm one of those. Because when I was young and I chose the modern language and literature, I did it because I truly believed that I would be a writer, poet. I really loved to write. I wrote for the local newspaper since I was 7, I was completely, now the kids, they don't know what to choose, but I was really sure about my career. Obviously, we smile now. It was like a dream, and I ended up in the business working, using my knowledge, using my skills and my training, but I never had the chance, I never gave chance to myself to do what I really loved. And during the pandemic, I had that haha moment, and no. It's time to meet myself again and to work in what I love. So I decided to take a post-graduation. I like to build business. I'm very used to do that because my role as international business manager, I had to start markets for the companies from scratch. So I mixed everything. I got trained because I use it to translate it a lot, to interpret it, but I didn't know the software, the new tools to do that now, and that's how it started.
So did you do your postgrad in translation?
Yes, postgrad in translation, specialized translation and CAD tools. And then during the post-graduation, I found another passion. It was subtitling, because I already told you in private that I work in a bunch of stuff. I translate, I do interpreting, consecutive interpreting often, but I was a poet, and as a poet, you have to follow rules, sizes of sentence, rhythm. You have to choose the perfect word. And when I found subtitling, I did this bridge in my brain. Oh, this is kind of same. Is for real. You have to choose the perfect word with perfect meaning in a perfect size. So it's kind of jigsaw with the technology associated, and that part I really like to manage too. And I do other stuff, but my passion and the things that fulfill me for real is subtitling. And it's a privilege because as I wasn't aware of agencies, I can do a good job in subtitling because I work for direct clients.
So you're still not working for agencies. So part of your
I just
new
work
business
for
plan.
one agency, and we meet regarding rates. We met in the middle, because agencies they pay very low rates. It's impossible to accept that. So I work just for one because I was really interested in the subject. It is videos for a gaming company. They have a blog and they do videos, okay? And I subtitled videos in their tool, and it's really interesting, and they pay me a lower rate than I'm used to, but anyway, it's a fair rate, really fair rate. And Otherwise, I just work for direct clients, as Sofia knows, because she decided this is my rate. I want to see the video to decide between this and that, what am I going to charge? And I work the same way. So for me, it's a profitable activity, but is really a passion. And I work for Fuel TV. Every week I have a show to subtitle, and it's about action sports, and I love it. I can't believe I'm doing that.
I believe I started watching Fuel TV because of you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now I'm doing Portugal
About skateboarding and surfing.
It's amazing. I have the series. Not normally it's not a random thing. They give me some shows, and I do them from the first issue to the.
Yeah. So you do all the episodes, all the series.
Yeah. And it's amazing. It is amazing. I already have one now. Is from skateboarding. Is I double, and it's so funny. I love so much, and it's amazing to convey the jokes of the street boys, the way they, it is crazy. I really love to do that. But in my brain, when I started to learn, I did that bridge with poetry. This is the same kind of wordplay. And each word is so important, because thinking about the meaning, thinking about the size, is the same kind of framework. Oh yeah, and I love it too. It's my passion. Yeah.
Okay. Well, sounds very good. I know what you mean. Of course, I love it too. I understand what you mean. It's very exciting. It's especially when the shows are brand new. No one has seen them. I know that experience.
You are the first one.
Yeah. I know, right? So it's kind of cool. It's the engineers and you. So it's really nice. So Sofia, when you were contacted by Maria I have to get used to this Maria thing, because in my brain you're Virginia. But so when you were contacted by Maria, was the first approach already about work, or were you already talking about other things, or did you attend one of her courses? We're going to talk about them because I know they exist, right? Or am I dreaming?
No, maybe. It's going to be.
It's in the future. We'll talk about it.
No. It is the first time with this shape, because I do, but more private.
Right. But we will talk about that. So something that is public. So we'll get that. But so you didn't meet in that context. I thought it could be possible, but it's still to come. So how was it? How was the first approach, Sofia?
So the first actual contact was, Maria that messaged me about the project, but I had already been seeing her posts on LinkedIn, because she posts a lot of very interesting posts about audiovisual translation, which, as I said, is my main specialty as well. So I was always reading her posts, liking her posts, and finding them very interesting. And then she was liking a couple of my posts, because I don't post half as much as she does. And then one day I opened LinkedIn and I found a message for her, and I was like, oh wow, why is she messaging me? I actually couldn't believe it, because I was like,
because you had already commented on her post, I suppose, or were you just secretly stalking her?
No, I wouldn't say commenting, because I'm not really the kind of person that would like try to interact as much. Although I learned now that it's important to do it, so I try to do it more. But like 2-3 months ago, I wouldn't do it. Not yet. I was more just kind of like reading it exactly secretly, just looking at the post. And then, and then I saw her message, and I was just very surprised about it. So she was asking me. If I was working with German, and if I was doing subtitles with German as well, because obviously she doesn't, but I did. And so she then put me in contact with this person from with the client, and it was just very nice and very unexpected, if you could say it that way. Because obviously, as I said, I didn't know much about the industry, and I'd heard that networking and talking with other people was very important. But I don't know, I didn't think that someone would just come and decide to help me. I don't know.
Well, to collaborate with you, I guess that's what the word is.
Yeah, exactly. Collaborate. So it was just very nice and unexpected, a good surprise.
And you, Maria, with all the people that you've known now, that you became active on LinkedIn not very long ago, right? So it wasn't like we would see posts from you all the time, and now we do, and they're like very complex with a lot of information, very directed towards a specific subject within your main subject, right? So I read them too.
Yeah. No, I always
Secretly.
been, I'm on LinkedIn for life, because when I was working for the manufacturing industries, I always promoted, I always choose just one or two subjects. And in my previous life, I loved to talk about architecture, because I worked a lot in projects with architects all over Europe. So architecture, buildings, interior design, I did that. When I switched, I had to choose just one subject, because you can't be a jack of all
All
trades.
trades. Yeah.
You have to choose just one subject. And as I love subtitling, and I really believe that video content is the future, because the brains are shrinking so fast that people need image to consume content. So for me, it is really important activity. So I decided to be more active, to brand myself, and to share knowledge. And in the beginning, when I decided, oh, I'm going just to talk about subtitling, it was, oh, but one day I won't ever
You
nothing to
will run out of
say.
subjects,
And
right?
I don't want to be repetitive. But I do so much research, because as I work with direct clients, I have to be very proactive. I have to create the opportunity, not just get seated and waiting for the clients to find me. So I'm always researching for new ways to approach, for new opportunities. For example, the last week I was researching about inclusivity and captions for deaf and hard of hearing, and I found Europe already thought about this, and countries are not implementing the laws. Now I'm going to I booked an appointment with an association, because I want to understand what are they going to do about it. So suddenly I realized that this subject is a whole world. I have so much to say and to share to the community, and I want to raise awareness about the importance of what we do, because even people working in the industry, project managers or clients, they don't know how hard and how demanding it is to subtitle. They think it's a regular translation, and it is not. No, Rita, you know, and Sofia knows. It is hard. Technically, you have to have the knowledge, not just about language, but about the tools. But physically, it is really hard. If you spend 4 or 5 hours subtitling, you have pains in your wrist. Your eyes are burning, and you have to be paid for that. Subtitling can't be the
poor parent, the poor cousin
yes
of the translation industry.
Yes. And I try to share the knowledge with Sofia and the younger people coming to the industry, and to promote this community awareness, to fight. This is so cliche to say, but to fight for our rights and to dignify our profession, and that's my goal. And I'm happy.
I can see
I'm
that.
happy because people
are paying attention.
Step by step, they are paying us attention. Yes. Yes.
So, Sofia, what is your typical day? Since you are, new to the industry, you have everything to learn. Not even talking about the technical parts of it, because that is different for every project. Sometimes we have client tools, sometimes we have our own tools. So, I mean, that is a process that will never end, because tools will evolve. We will evolve with tools, and clients have different tools. We have to adapt to their tools. At least that was always my motto. So that's the way I see it. So what is your typical day? So a typical day of Sofia, newbie in the industry with interesting experience, to be honest, already.
Thanks. But I would say a major part of the day is definitely doing courses to still learn and understand how this job works, but also just doing research and looking at other professionals on LinkedIn and see what they do, and try and, I don't want to say imitate, because it's not just copying someone else, but basically learning from them and see basically how they got where they got, and then finding new marketing strategies, trying to understand how you can contact agencies, because I don't work with direct clients yet. I knew about agencies, but I wasn't like fully aware of direct clients as Maria was. So it's more agencies for me, but still trying to find a better way to interact with agencies, understand how I can basically sell myself even better, to make agencies and clients understand that I can actually offer good services. So that's definitely the major part of it. And then definitely still trying to specialize as much as I can, because in my degree, obviously, we did the full final year was all specialized in subtitles. But still, I think that, as you said, and as Maria said as well, there's always evolving and changing and new things happening. So definitely the major part of it, of being a new freelance translator, is definitely the trying to learn how to basically to fit in this industry that is just a very new word.
So are you very strict with your routine? Do you have like hours for marketing? Do you have hours for work, client work? Because everything that we do is work, even if sometimes it's like, oh, we're on LinkedIn. Yeah, but we're working there, right? This is what we do, because I mean, what else do we talk about on LinkedIn? But work, no matter from which perspective, but it's always
100%.
work. If we're making connections, it's about work, even if we're not going to work together. But it is about work, because we're learning from each other. We're
Definitely
discussing subjects. I don't even know how you connected, Maria, to be honest, but I know that you were then at one of those networking events that I have one today. Yeah, because we're trying to get it now every week, because the idea is, for people who want to do it again, for people who want to come and they've never been there. A lot of the people, it's also their first time in a networking event. They don't know what to expect. And with me, of course, you don't know what to expect, because because that is the premise, right? I go there exactly because nobody knows what's going to happen. It's just like here. So everywhere I go, it's the same rule, not knowing. So that's what I like. So I don't even know how we connected, but I definitely noticed all of a sudden that at least for me, it's like I started looking at your content and I'm like, wow, she's posted, so it's going to be good. I already know, right? So
thank you. Thank you.
It's a very interesting subject to me. I've done it for a long time, sometimes more intensely, sometimes, a bit more from a distance, but definitely very, very interesting. And I like it also from every perspective. And I know that, different shows, if things are more fiction, if things are more documentary oriented, well, those very, very hard usually. So you have to know a lot, you have to research a lot, you have to do a lot. So I do think that it's something very, very powerful to be able to put together posts that are very informative, that have a lot of content and knowledge, and you can tell that the person is telling you about that because they really know what they're talking about. And this is the case for Virginia's posts, because I read them. So let's talk about this thing I started talking about before, because I guess I got all mixed up. I thought that you had already done a course about subtitling, but apparently it's still to come, right?
Yes, it is.
So you are
still,
preparing
because
it?
I do a lot of training courses. This is incredible. The backstage of LinkedIn is, my backstage is really busy, because people see me as a senior mentor, and people ask me a lot of things. And I guide my editorial criteria has to do a lot with the stuff people asked me. And I already taught people to use subtitle editing, DIMs.
Yes, I know. And when we did our networking event, it was all about subtitling in the end, because we were there, and then Antoni was there, and we ended up, and people who wanted to know about subtitling were there. So that was a huge group of people networking, and you in the end had to do a lot of talking about subtitling. So yeah.
Yes, I created some posts after that event, and then I did some training, and then I understood that people needed to have more information about the things, and not just to do with technical part, but also about how to create a budget, about rates, about how to build a portfolio. And I have something to say about that. My experience in business world counts. So I decided, I have to put all these together. The course, the name is a comprehensive course, because we go from the writing techniques, the kind of poetry we have to build. Yes, the writing techniques, passing through the subtitle edit, because subtitle edit is an open source tool, and is always evolving, always changing, and it has so many things we can do there, and people are not aware of that. You know, and as I'm this kind of geek, always searching for new approaches, I even I never met him, but I even talk with the first creator, the owner of Subtitle Edit, and he already helped me. This is a personal situation, professional situation. I was doing a subtitling project for Full TV with a very tight deadline, and suddenly I lost 20 minutes of work, and you know what this means.
Yes, of course.
Hours. And I didn't have time to recover those 20 minutes, and it was the first time I searched the email of the creator, and I asked him for help, and he helped me immediately. It's That's amazing. Great. Yes, amazing. So somehow I have feelings for subtitle edit, because I know that people behind that, available people and human beings. And that's it. I thought it would be important to put everything together, and somehow to put my knowledge available to younger people.
So when and where is the question?
It will be a Translastars course. One of the many they offer, very targeted to our industry. I'm very proud of that. I never thought, I have to pinch myself. It's me.
So Alfonso approached you, I suppose.
Yeah. And it will start in 29 January next year.
So January 29th.
Yes, 5 days, 2 hours each, and I'm working on that with passion. And
is it a boot camp? Is it, because I've done a boot camp with them that was 2 hours every day for 5 days with Alfonso about SEO. Is that the format?
The first format will be like that, and then it will stay recorded, and people can buy it after that, but it will be recorded. But in 29 it will be a direct with me. So yes, hands-on activities. I'm building the course to be very, how can I say, I don't want just to talk, because it's so boring, and
there's some theory, everything. But there's a lot of practice and a lot of practical tips.
Effective practice, very useful practice. So that's it. Is my new thing. Yeah, I'm happy.
I
I'm
already signed
really
up for it.
excited.
I
I'm
already
really
signed up.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear what Sofia is doing at the moment without naming names. Of course, we already know that. But what kind of projects do you have right now in your plate, or are you looking for things, or what's happening right now in your life, professional life, or otherwise, if you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so as I said before, yeah, my main thing at the moment is obviously trying to expand my client base. But yeah, I'm working on a couple of subtitling projects, which are again obviously my favorite ones. They're all small videos. They're still not like episodes of like movies or nothing, but like I'm okay with it because everything that gives me some experience, I'm okay with it.
Look for
And
action movies, right, Maria? The more they fight, the less we translate.
That's a good tip, thank you. And then I also have some contacts with some agencies that are to translate texts that are more related to, as I was saying before, travel and tourism, because that's another industry that I would like to start
So
working with.
subtitling, but for that industry, not for the entertainment industry as we see it.
Well, I would like to do obviously for the entertainment
Yes,
as
of
well,
course.
but I would also
You would like to do everything. I know how.
Yeah,
Course, but
exactly.
well, for this specific one,
Exactly, yeah, exactly. More, no, sorry, the travel and tourism, they're not related to subtitles. They're just documents related to, let's say, like blogs or these kind of things.
Okay.
For the traveling industry, which I, again, find very interesting because it expands, first of all, the range of services that I can offer. And it also differentiates a little bit the tools that you need to use and the techniques, let's say, that you need to use. Because obviously for subtitles, there's a lot stricter rules, as Maria was saying. While in translation, obviously, you still need to, obviously, you can't just write whatever you want, but you're more free to write as much as you want, let's say, as long as obviously you're still translating the meaning. So
you would say you were more going towards, or you prefer, or you feel more inclined, or according to your personality, you're more inclined to work on more creative projects, right?
To be honest, I don't even know it myself just yet. I would say it depends. Some days I prefer more creative projects, while other days I prefer more subtitles where I just have roles. Because I think that when you have more roles, like you do for subtitles, you need to use your language skills more.
Yes, it's true.
Because you obviously need to adapt while you're writing to the characters limit and so on, that you guys obviously know a lot better than I do. So I think, it depends on today. Some days I prefer to just, have a strict mind and follow the rules. And some other days just be more open and just, translate more creatively,
Okay, because we need to wrap her up at some time. So we're going to just ask our Maria to give us a few tips for people watching us who want to develop, continue, get started on let's focus here on subtitling specifically. So what would people do? What kind of approach? What kind of posts on LinkedIn should be more specific about subtitling? What would people do in order to either further signing up for your course, in order to further to take their career in the subtitling area further? So what is your final advice?
My advice has nothing to do with LinkedIn. Yes, obviously LinkedIn is important. Is our way of as freelancers to promote ourselves, to brand ourselves. Obviously, is our window to the world. But it's very important to be proactive outside of LinkedIn. Yes, being on LinkedIn and being known, it gets attention and people come and ask you for work. But the main source of this is being proactive outside to proactively approach the clients and leave that thing that just streaming channels are our clients. Everyone can be our client, and we have to look for it. But every company now has to have video content. and they have to have video content translated to the market. So you have a bunch of opportunities outside, and you have to go there to meet the clients, to go to some industry events, to give your visit cards. I did the traditional cards to send.
The business card.
I write letters and build a good portfolio to show, and people can ask me, but if I'm starting and I never did something, how do I build a portfolio? Then you go to the thing that giving back to society is good and is a win-win situation. You have a lot of situations where you can subtitle videos without NDAs, and you can say I did this job and put them in your portfolio. So the thing is, never stop to search for work. Always looking to the situations as opportunities, not just LinkedIn, also outside LinkedIn. Yeah. And obviously a good LinkedIn profile, being recognized as an expert in the area, is an important part of it, but isn't all. You have to go further. Yeah.
So it's never stop.
That's what I would say. Yeah.
Is the advice. Yeah, I hear you. So that's exactly what I believe in, to never stop. Thank you so much, you guys. It was so nice to meet you. And it was the first time that I actually had two people who have this specific relationship where they're collaborating. And I suppose that you see Maria as your mentor. Of course, that's just natural, right? Just yesterday, I was talking to women in localization, and Nancy was there, and Nancy has been in the industry for longer. And we talked about this, the importance of also, being here. And since we have been in the industry for longer, or I mean, you have not been necessarily directly in the industry, but you have been in the working world, which really also is a great advantage. And of course, I was in the working world in the LSP side of things, right? So it was a different approach, it's true. But I would say that will also give us an overview on the world, and will open our horizons to certain things that people who have not worked in the corporate world, let's say that, probably wouldn't think about. So I think it's really valuable that we bring, and you in particular, all of this knowledge to everything that you do. And that will also help everybody else who is looking up to you and looking at your videos and all the content, your posts and your content that you put out and everything that you say. And now this course, I'm very excited about it. You never know if I'm going to attend. I mean, I do like the format a lot, because I've done that SEO bootcamp, and I really thought it was amazing. So I was like, oh, I would love to do that myself, about, who knows, but that would be really cool, because I loved the energy that Alfonso put into it. And I suppose that everybody who does it must be amazing. And you have to have a lot of stamina and knowledge to be able to do something like that. So I've had Diego on the podcast. He also has a Translastar's course for video game localization. So I know that it's a place where people go for their CPD and all that. So it's great to know that you're also there. So thank you very much, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rita.
And I'll be around. Thank you so much for this. And it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.